Here comes the rain. Yeah. Are they get? Oh shit.
Welcome to the APP World Tour stop number 2, the 2018 edition. We are at New York Sup Open. I'm Bo Hodge along with Drew Merritt. And Drew, we have contest.
Oh man, nobody thought it was going to happen today, and I'll tell you what, the sky opened up, the sun came out, and everybody got excited, but now it looks like the opposite.
Well, we were on at 8 o'clock, and they had an athletes briefing then, and they were just put everything on postpone at that time. They had a 10 o'clock athletes meeting.
Right.
During that athletes meeting, they got everybody together, and quite a few of the racers have already booked tickets either tonight or tomorrow to leave Long Island. So it was kind of dire. Do we run in the storm? It's obviously voted for a go.
And honestly, the winds really lightened up. They were 20, 25 miles an hour with gusts of 30 this morning, and they've lightened up a lot. However,
the front is moving in. It's
exactly
already hitting the city right now in downtown, so it's making its way over here to Long Beach, and it's going to get kind of scary, and we should have some heavy rain, thunderstorms, maybe some lightning. If we do, we may have to postpone just a little bit in that, so we're just preparing everybody for the worst.
And right now it's 12:13 here, East Coast time in Long Beach, New York. So they're in the middle of the race briefing right now, so I'm sure all the race directors are coming together, evaluating the storm. And like we talked about before, Scoot and Surf School right here on the beach in Long Beach, very savvy to these conditions. They know what to expect, so I'm sure they'll be highly influential on what the overall outcome is, Bo.
Yeah, so we should have an interesting day of competition, and we're going to be having men's sprints and women's sprints, and we're going to be having 8-man heats for the men, where top 3 advance into the final. Everybody else, the other 5, will go into a repechage, and from those repechage heats, we'll have 2 heats of the rounds of repechage. One winner out of the repechage for the men will advance on into the 8-man final.
And in case you've never seen a sprint race before, it is in and out of the surf. This isn't just a straight line sprint. This is in and out of the surf. We saw the surf this morning. It's about, what do you think, maybe a foot to 2.5 feet at the peak. So, but there's some real tricky conditions. As we start looking towards the water, we'll start talking about that more and more. And as you take a look at the athletes, all starting to look towards the water. They are all out there just a couple hours ago, getting sort of used to the water, seeing those conditions, and kind of seeing after the buoys were set, they could kind of see what the course was going to be, Bo.
Well, in London, we had a very controlled environment, flat water, where they were doing zigzags
right
of the sprints and coming in. Well, we're playing with Mother Nature. We're playing with the elements. And I was down beachside about a good 20, 30 minutes watching the warm-up, and quite a few athletes are having a hard time getting through the surf. Now, reminder, these are the best in the business, and they're having a hard time taking their 14 and 12.6 boards in and out through the surf zone. Coming in, not a problem. They're able to ride the waves. The tricky part and the wild card is getting out through the surf to round the buoys, not once, but twice.
Yeah, that M-shaped course is going to prove to really test these athletes. This isn't just a race. This is testing all your abilities as a waterman. Anthony Vela was talking about this morning. You're going to have to read water. You're going to have to take on waves and swell from both sides. There's different rips on each side of the jetties there. And now you see the wind starting to pick up a little bit on the flag there of Germany. So we'll see if the wind even plays a factor more so now than it did an hour ago, Bo.
Yeah, this morning there was more south-southwest. There's Kai Lenny and Kai's mom coming down to the water. And, you know, someone who loves gnarly conditions, it's got to be Kai Lenny. And he won the sprints in London, so he's got to be odds-on favorite.
Yeah, this is nothing to Kai. You see how nonchalant he is. He's looking towards the water. This is no big deal. It's a walk in the park for him. So look for him to be one of the top competitors out there today. And I know a lot of the other ones. I mean, we could talk. There's, like you said, the best in the world are here. So these guys are used to these conditions, especially in the men's category. I don't see it posing too much of a problem. They don't seem too excited about it.
Here's a story about Kai. Last year, 2017 Red Bull Heavy Water Challenge in San Francisco, where they went through the 10 to 20-foot surf at Ocean Beach and came all the way underneath the Golden Gate Bridge and to finish that race. Kai, after the race, went to Mavericks to surf in the afternoon.
And ripped.
Yes. So not only did he battle in the heavy water challenge and, didn't win the event, but he backed it up by going to Mavericks and surfing 15-foot plus Mavericks.
And you know what? I know the Red Bull Heavy Water is on Kai's radar this year. After what happened to him last year, I know he's wanting to regain himself and redeem himself in that event. But I'm going to take a quick break here, Bo, and I'm going to mention some of our supporting sponsors because these guys really help make this event possible. And we've seen it so much. We want to thank the city of New York, Long Beach, New York, for all their hospitality. They've been so supportive of this event. So we had Brew Dr. Kombucha out there, Kona Deep, Saks Underwear was out in Manhattan, giving out free undies. I know I picked up a couple pair. You finally changed yours for the trip, so that was good. Thank you to Saks. Barbados Tourism, so stoked to have those guys on board. And we have our first ever Barbados athlete competing in the sprint races here today. We'll be talking more about him coming up. Tremaine Walcott. So you'll be hearing that name. Plus Red Bull, the City of Long Beach, New York City Mayor's Office, and Hurley Surf Club, presented by Student Surf. Cliff and the boys, Cliff and Will, we'll be talking about them as well, have really done wonders here getting this part of the race off the ground.
Okay, so we are scheduled for a 12:20 start, so we're about 2 minutes away. And just taking a look at what's happening on the beach, we're going to be a little bit more delayed by then. You can see the athletes. They are just stretching at this time. They're running down some boards. They're getting loose. Some athletes are still in the water, and they're coming out. We're going to have an athletes debriefing at the start line. You see the two flags in the sand. That'll be the start-finish area. We have two white buoys in the area where the competitors will be going in and out through the surf. And it's going to be a very exciting race. And it'll be start out to one buoy, come back in on the inside on a turn buoy. That'll be the second buoy. The third buoy on the outside where you see the two. And then they'll come in through the chicane and the finish line.
Very good point there. You're going to be going on the right of your screen. They'll be going on the right side and kind of working their way left. And we'll talk about the conditions. You see out there right now, the water is coming in, so it is incoming tide. And there's a big hole right out there. So we saw a lot of the paddlers as they took off. They had to kind of hit that first little lump there, go over, and then they hit kind of a hole, and then it got shallower out there. But you're starting to see that fill in a little bit, which is good news for the athletes when they go to make that initial charge.
Yeah, we've got an incoming tide this morning when we were out here during the 8 o'clock check-in. Very low tide. There were a lot of rocks exposed towards the shoreline. Let's watch Kai here. Drew, as I thought he was going to do a running start here.
Well, yeah, Kai's a little late to the party. These guys were out here like an hour ago, all charging, working on that running start of that glide, trying to get that glide down through this initial surf line. And it looks like Kai's just going to get a couple warm-up laps. He'll be ready to go. Kai all the way from Hawaii, like you mentioned, big wave surfer. He kind of does it all. We saw him on his foiling around the Statue of Liberty. Tremendous athlete. But I think this technical sprint race is Tristan Boxford's favorite because of how exciting it is, Bo. It's not a real long race, but it tests all the abilities of the athlete.
Okay, we see Annie Reichart and also that Shea Fowdy warming up in the area on the beach. So they're watching the guys. They're planning their strategy as it comes around.
Shea's been out here for a couple hours. That's Shea right there wearing the number 1 jersey all the way from California. Annie from Hawaii. And Shea facing a little bit of an injury. She had some rib injuries, like in this sort of what do they call that, intercostal tissue there in her ribs were kind of bugging her on the distance race. So she felt like she didn't perform up to her abilities. But I know she feels great today. She's ready to go. And you see her and Annie pointing to the water talking strategy.
No, but did you see that?
How easy that was?
No. Kai fell in the water. He's human. He's actually human.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I would be out there. We fall about 10, 18 times, But here, Kai's already fallen off once on the inside.
It's true. He's like, get it out of the way. There's Monsa Notar all the way from Slovenia.
She heard you.
Yeah, she was always waving to me. Good to see her and her whole family out here from Slovenia. She had a little trouble in the distance race, did not finish, but now she's ready to charge.
There's
the
technical. There's the weather. There's the oncoming weather. See the dark clouds on the horizon? Yeah. That's coming towards us right now.
It's not phasing Monsa, though. Monsa's like, this is no big deal.
Okay. See number 2 going around. That's Tareen. Tareen Black from Australia. This is just a warm-up lap, so the athletes are just getting in tune. We're a little bit delayed. I'd like to welcome everybody to appworldtour.com and APP World Tour Facebook. Yep.
Yeah.
We know what's happening. It's all over there.
She's pointing the wrong direction, though. Now she's pointing the right direction.
That's where the front's coming.
She's like, it's going that way, and it's coming from that way. Yeah, there you go. Look at Shea. Shea Fowdy, one of the greatest personalities. 19 years of age from California and the top points leader here in the APP. She's telling our cameraman, do you see that? Do you see that coming?
It's blue and white on this side, and it's dark and gnarly on the other side. I'm Bo Hodge. This is Drew. Welcome to the APP World Tour. Stop number 2. This is the sprint racing. Now, let's talk about Saturday. Saturday was the distance race, and oh, my God, what a fantastic race for both the men and the women.
Yeah, just an iconic race. I mean, and the best part about it is it incorporated pro-ams and amateurs. Everybody got to do the race. But, yeah, getting back to the pros, great finish there by Arthur Arukin from France. That guy, the biggest win of his career on Saturday, and he's still on cloud 9. Now he's taking to the sprints, and we'll see if he can carry it on.
Well, here we go on screen, the warm-up lap for Kai Lenny, and this is such a small wave for Kai as he has mastered the WSL Big Wave Tour and won down at Puerto Escondido last year and been in the finals over at the PAI event, and so he is a guy who is odds on, got to be the favorite. He won the sprints in a more controlled area. There's Slater Trout, Captain America, getting his warm-ups in. And Slater was all like, if I bring out the board from the bag, it's going to rain. Yeah. So I should just leave the board in the bag. And I thought he was going to do that.
Yeah, Slater's just a great personality. I mean, we saw him jumping out of planes on Instagram. We've seen him doing a little bit of everything. So he's kind of branched out from the SUP community and getting into more different activities, so he hasn't really been truly focused, and even he'll tell you that, but he's got to get back on it because with this race, and then he's got PPG coming up, you're going to see that kid get more focused as we move along.
Well, you talked about it the other day on Saturday, breakout races, and that was Artur's breakout race, winning the APP distance event here in New York City. We saw Mo Freitas last year in Denmark. His breakout, one of his great breakouts was winning that gold technical medal at the ISA Worlds in cold Hawaii.
It was huge for him. And I think that's so exciting about the sports. It shows these young guns that you've been watching for 2 or 3 years that have been so close, and then they get that breakout win, and it just changes them dramatically.
More breakouts. Michael Booth just been dominating the European Tour this year, and he's just been on fire and winning the overall in London, coming in here as the top rank. But guess what? He has been now unseated because Arthur Arukin is now 2,750 points ahead of Michael coming into the sprints today.
And Michael was the first one on the beach today. As soon as the buoys were set, he was the first one in the water because he knows where he sits in those rankings, Bo, and he's got to put on a good performance today to stay in the top contention.
Okay, we are still waiting the athletes debriefing. You saw the athletes out in the water. They're warming up, so we're a little bit behind schedule. So, kind of on Hawaiian time, not on correct time. Hawaiian time is always a little bit later. Starting to get the few sprinkles coming in. You can see it's getting darker out there, and you see Shay and Annie. They're going, we're just going to save our energy and wait for the race to come up. But we're going to have 2 heats of men's in the first round, 2 heats of women in their first round. And there's Anthony Villa, our race director, briefing the athletes on the shorelines. And then we're going to have repechage. So for the men, was it top 3 advance to the final?
Yeah, men, we're going to go, there's going to be 2 heats of 8. Top 3 will move on to the final. Then we'll pull 2 from Repo 1 and 2 from Repo 2. That'll round out the final field of 8.
1 from Repo 1.
My apologies, yeah.
For Repo 2.
Second Repo will pull 1. And here comes the raid, as you can probably hear it behind us. And then for the women, it's going to be 2 heats of 4. But then we're just going to pull the 1. Pull the 2. We'll pull the top 2 from each Repo. Let me get this right, Bo. Gosh, so many.
That's why I'm here.
It's the rain. It's screwing me up right now.
I can't hear you. It's raining so hard. No, but it's going to be challenging, and we'd like to thank Christian and his whole crew, Cy and the guys. We got Dave. We got Stuart. We got all these guys out in the elements, and these guys are going to be delivering all this to you as they happen.
We got trash bags wrapped on every camera, every person.
We got 2 for us in case we need them.
Yeah. It's a little stormy, but now you see it's kind of lighting up. So just a brief thunderstorm. Nobody seems to get too excited. We're not seeing the athletes leave the beach, so we're going to try to ride this thing out.
We got athlete tents over there, so it's working very good. And you see the country flags. They're kind of like the little bit of the ISA is here because the ISA is the sanctioning body here at the APP World Tour. And we'd like to acknowledge Fernando Aguirre and the whole ISA as they are in Tahara, Japan.
You know what's funny?
For the 2018 World Surfing Games.
They're surfing in Long Beach. We're surfing in Long Beach. Is that true? Someone mentioned that this morning. I was like, are we both surfing in Long Beach right now?
We're both surfing, but they have a typhoon swell.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We're dealing with the remnants of Hurricane Florence.
Yeah, and our condolences go out to all those people, and our thoughts are with you in the Carolinas. We know our big SUP community there in South and North Carolina. We're all thinking about you. I know I texted a few of my buddies down there today, and they said, hey.
There are towns that are still flooded.
Yeah, they're still flooded. They're supping through houses right now.
Yeah.
Around houses. I mean,
over 30 people have perished, and towns are still flooded. They're dealing with the flooding. I know I just came from Hawaii. We had Hurricane Lane and Tropical Storm Olivia with major flooding on the outer islands. So knowing what they're going through, I was born in North Carolina, still have a lot of relatives back home, and they're dealing with compounding rain from this storm that's still producing. And now this storm has moved way north of us, but we're getting the tail edge of the trail coming up coast right now. And it's going to be brief. It's only going to be a couple hours. And tomorrow, offshore winds are forecasted for the subsurfers.
Yeah, the Scoot and Surf boys were excited about tomorrow's forecast, so it's looking like it's going to shape up perfectly to kick off the surf events tomorrow. But you see it getting really dark. We might have to adjust that white balance in there, boys, as we start to open up the ISO on those cameras, as our athletes are all lining up here in the rain of Long Beach, New York, baby. That's where we're at, and what an amazing event it's been here today.
Well, the girls are practicing to start there. You just saw our contest director giving them a practice start. We got 3 girls right there, 3 different colored jerseys. Of course, coming up in our women's heats, we'll have heats of 4. Or could this be a start?
Well, we should be starting with the men's heats.
We're just looking through our papers right now as we're looking. And this is round 1. This is round 1 of the women, so this is an official start. We were told earlier it was going to be the men, so we have been corrected now. So the women, this is an official start. So right now I just see the first 3 ladies of this course. I do not see Aline in yellow. So Shea Fowley will be in the white jersey. Shea Fowley in the red jersey. Annie Reichart in the white jersey. And in the blue jersey, it'll be Tareen Black. So one odd lady out. Top 2 will make final. 1 person will be eliminated and delegated into the repechage. And as you see there in the blue, there's Tareen Black.
And it looks like Adisaka may have scratched from this event all the way from Japan. Sad to see her. She's one of the up-and-comers, teenager from Japan. So unfortunately, she's not there. But you see Tareen going up and over, getting a little wobbly there, but hangs on to it as they go out towards that first left-hand shoulder turn buoy. Now, you're going to see these athletes as they're in the traditional SUP stance going out, but when they see these big waves, they're going to see them step back and get in that surf stance to make it a little bit easier for her. And there's Annie Reichart from Hawaii on the left-hand side of your screen in white, looking very strong here, Bo.
Well, they found the path to go outside. Now, remember, they're going to be turning on 2 different buoys on the outside. So Annie Reichart in white in first, Shea Fowley in blue in second. And there we see in the red jersey, that's Shea on the inside. So that is Tareen Black in blue in second. And Shea Fowley, who was leading after the London event and still leading in the women's division after the sprints in New York City. She's currently in third, so she has to play catch-up here.
Well, as you saw, Annie Reichart went on that inside, that left-hand side there, and definitely had the less amount of waves to have to blow through. And Fowley is on that outside. Now, if we get a wide angle there, you're going to see you have some lefts and rights. You got lefts coming from the left-hand side of your screen. You got rights coming from the right-hand jetty. So it's kind of merging. It looks like Shea got caught right in the middle. As you take a look at there, see what I'm talking about there, Bo? Mm-hmm. See that? Yeah. You have the rights coming from the right-hand side of your screen, so they converge. And Shea got caught right in the middle of that. And Annie just skirted out around that inside on the left-hand side and made it nice and beautiful.
Well, the squall is starting to come in. The girls are in Heat 1, Round 1. We have a 4-lady heat, and 3 are riding. As you see there in the white, that is Annie Reichart in the lead. Annie placed in the distance race over in New York City in a 4th-place finish. She comes into the sprints here today, ranked number 3rd overall in the world on the APP World Tour rankings. Good, clean transition on the inside.
Reichert looking really strong there. And you got to give Tareen Black a lot of credit there. She's got to be stoked with where she's sitting right now. You saw her really not letting up on that wave. She got on it beautifully, rode it all the way in. We saw some mistakes this morning from a couple of the riders, sort of easing up and then getting washed out. But Tareen getting there, and there's Shea Fowley up in red. Let's see how she rides this one out. Board going sideways. She's going to step off the back. That's going to cost her some serious time, Bo.
Well, you talked about it early. You saw Tareen playing it cautious because what's the goal here? Not to win, but top 2. To get out of the final. So Tareen didn't need to be gnarly on the turn, didn't need to be technical. She needed to be safe. And she took her time, took a wide turn going around. Okay, here we go. Heading out in the white. is Annie Reichart from Maui. Coming in the red, that is Shea Foudy coming in on making her turn.
Yeah, and you see Annie going really far to the right-hand side there. So she's not going to take a direct line to that buoy. You're going to see these athletes kind of weave their way out, sort of pick their way through this surf break there. As you see, she's just looking for the softest little portion she can find, but a big set coming in there, and Reichart goes down, Bo, just like we were talking.
Well, I saw the girls on their warm-ups this morning, and I saw Candace Appleby, saw Tareen Black going out on the outside, and that's why they have handles on their boards. That's why they have leashes, so they want to get separated from their equipment.
Sorry, I'm taking on some water over here, Bo.
Okay, grab the trash bag and put it over you.
Oh, man, we got water falling on the top as we have a nice little dump. But, yeah, we got some, we're going to have to, like, put our fingers up here to plug some holes. You got your raincoat?
Yes, I do.
We're going to get our raincoats out there in the announcer's booth. But, yeah, this is an exciting start to – there you go. There's some heavy water action. That's nice. Look at that. That's beautiful. You give me that. Give me that.
No.
Okay.
That's mine. Aloha, welcome. As you can tell, the squall has now immersed in, and that big squall of rain has now passed by. But let's get back to the action. Looks like Tareen Black has now taken the lead over Annie Reichart.
Yeah, Annie Reichart went down there. We didn't get to see how much trouble she had getting back up. But this is the final buoy turn. And look at Shea Foudy starting to make a little bit of a push there, trying to catch up. But right now, it's anybody's race around this buoy if they start to make this left-hand shoulder turn. It looks like it will be Tareen Black to the inside with the hole shot as Tareen, the regular footer, makes it around nice and clean there. Reichart just behind her. Now they're going to look for those little bumps, Bo, to carry them in to close out this first heat. As we are taking on some serious water. There you go. We'll fill that up. So Reichart going a little bit further to the outside there, looking for those little bumps. Now, if you look at it, we got Hawaii. There she is. She's up and riding now. Let's see if Tareen can stay on this wave to keep it up with her. And now, closing out on Reichart. She'll have to cut back to the left. But they're both on the same wave. Now they just got to make the run for the beach. But it looks like these two top women will qualify and move on to that final. That'll push Shea Foudy, the number one seed.
Wait, the race is not over,
Oh,
Drew.
Bo. They're going to ride this baby in. These are professionals, I tell you. And that'll put Shea Foudy in the repo, which I don't think she expected whatsoever.
Well, these ladies will be either competing twice today or 3 times today.
Right.
And the men could be even more. And here they go, shoulder by shoulder, coming in, Annie Reichart in first, Tareen Black in second. They high-five each other. They're coming in, and they're on into the sprint final.
Great performance there by Tareen Black. Give it to she's been around for so long. She's not really known for her sprinting, and paddle just a very technically sound race there. So congratulations to her moving on to that final.
Okay, as we wait the arrival for Shea Foudy, and Shea caught up some ground there when Annie Reichart went down and Tareen Black took the lead, but give credit to Annie Reichart. Falling down, coming back, catching a wave, and passing Tareen just for the finish. A little psychological game there here in Heat 1, Round 1.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you look at these conditions right there. There's some nerves working on these ladies, so maybe that's what happened to Shea. She got a little nervous, but she'll come back from the repo. We'll see her charging hard coming up in the future heat.
Okay, there's Anthony Vela. He's got his walkie-talkie in hand. He is a true warrior. We're hearing thunder and lightning in the background, and no, this is not after midnight. This is actual what you're seeing right there. This is, we're dealing with the elements.
Yeah, right now, like you were talking about, it's 12:35 Eastern Standard Time here in Long Beach, New York, and a little overcast, little thunderstorm coming in. But Bo, looking out to down the coast towards New York City, it's looking like it's breaking up a little bit. So this shouldn't stick with us far too long.
Yeah, but we're going to have bouts with these rains during the event. You can see some of the athletes there in the tents, and we are huddled up in the tents. We got floodlights on us to try to make us look a little bit better and what's going on. Getting National Weather Service advisories too.
The best part about it is all this humidity makes your skin look great. Have you noticed that? Very, very vibrant. Very vibrant.
Okay, so we've just been informed by the race director, by Anthony Villa, that the race is on standby. They have seen bolts of lightning, so they're just going to pause right now and take a deep breath and see if anything produces from the lightning that they see offshore because they don't want to send the athletes when there's an actual storm and actual lightning happening.
Yeah, lightning is not a good thing, so we're going to definitely look towards the safety of the athletes here. Huddle them all up under the tent.
You're going to need my towel.
We're going to towel off here. Bo and I are going to – you got any soap? We could just shower while we're in here.
No, that's for later. That notebook's toast.
That's all right.
Okay, we'll
get
there.
a new one.
All right.
But let's talk about what's coming up. We got the men's heat number 1 coming up.
Next up, we're going to have heat number 2 of the women. Let's go to that one first.
Let me get back to my sheet.
Yes, back to your women's sheet.
It's a little wet, Bo.
Here we go. Here's the official results of heat number 1. Annie Reichart from Maui in first. Tareen Black from Australia, defending Molokai to Oahu champion in second. And Shea Foudy, our world number 1 so far this year, is now delegated into the repechage. And Aline, it was a no-show, and she's in third place at this time. So coming up in our next heat will be heat number 2, round number 1. And we're going to see Monsa Notar from Slovenia. She'll be in red. Candice Appleby from the United States in white. Stephanie Scheidler will be in the blue jersey. And who's that in yellow?
In the yellow women's?
Yes.
And the yellow women's will be Janissa Vecco.
From Peru.
From Peru, yeah. The Peruvians came in full force.
Yes.
So we'll be talking about a lot of the Peruvians in the surf comp coming up here tomorrow. But you're going to see the flags are flying. I know we got a young gun in the men's heats coming up. It's El Delgado from Peru. He's definitely one of the younger ones, one of the teenagers to really look out for, as now we are duct taping the holes in the announcer's booth. This is good. You got any bubble gum? We'll just put some gum up there, patch this baby, some rice. Our production guy says, just stick some rice in it.
Now we're seeing the fire department in the area, so you know it's hot and heavy.
They're pumping. Yeah. There's Monsa Notar from Slovenia. She's one to watch out for in the sprints. I talked to her parents this morning. They said, yeah, she had a little trouble. She said she's having some trouble in her neck area where her arm is going numb. And in that distance race in Manhattan, just on last Saturday, she said that numbness went all the way down to the tips of her baby 2 fingers. So she seems to be in full strength here today. We'll see how she fares in this technical sprint race today.
Well, Monsa was second in the sprints in London. She was third in the sprints in the distance, and she was a DNF in the sprints at New York City, which means she did not finish. She started the race, but that numbness, possibly a pinched nerve or some other thing that prevented her from finishing that race, and she got 0 points for the race in New York City and Manhattan.
That was a tough race. I know that really kind of affected her, so she's got to put on a show here today and get a lot of those points back, so watch for her to come out strong.
Yeah, Monsa was in second place overall, and she goes down to fourth after getting no points. So still, Shea Foudy with almost a 10,000-point lead after London. Now it is down to 7,250 as Candice Appleby has moved from fifth overall to second just with her win in the sprints in New York.
And, you bring up Shea Foudy, 19 years old from California. She's like, Drew, we got a race today because I got a chemistry exam tomorrow. So she's got to fly home tonight to catch a chemistry test tomorrow back home in California all the way across the United States. So not only is she a professional athlete, she's trying to balance school as well. I know that's very important to her parents. And so she's trying to do it all here today, Bo.
Yeah, well, that's life. When you're in your late teens, early 20s, you're taking on a career and you're trying to finish up your college degree. We know Michelle Wee went to Stanford, still competing professionally in golf, and quite a few of these athletes have double duty too.
Absolutely. Some of them have families. I mean, we've seen them bring their families on these trips, so give it to the athletes for really trying to balance it out, especially with some of these locations they go to. I mean, you guys were in London last year, trying to travel away from your family or away from your school for that long. That poses a lot of issues.
Okay, right now we're in a holding pattern. Right now we've seen some lightning offshore as that front moves in. We've had some really hard rain squalls move through. Right now the rain has let up. It's just a light sprinkle. The winds have kind of subsided right now. Taking a look at the flags, they're not blowing as hard, and they were at least 20 to 30 miles an hour this morning and right prior to the start of the race. So as that front comes in, it is still developing and still coming through, and they saw some lightning. We've already heard a couple of thunders. So with the lightning, that is a reason to put this event on hold, and we'll just trudge through it make sure it's safe for the competitors.
Yeah, we're right in the eye of the storm now, Bo. That's why the flags are just dropping down to nothing. I mean, the storm's right over the top of this. You're going to see it sort of push out. The winds will pick back up, just like any thunderstorm you see anywhere. And then it looks like we might have a little bit of an opening to get this thing underway. But give it to the race officials, give it to the race directors for calling it, making sure all the athletes are safe as they're all huddled up underneath the tent there. There's Bruno Husulio in the backwards there, black shirt. I know he was one of the favorites going on to the distance race last Saturday in Manhattan, but unfortunately his paddles, board, all of his personal belongings did not make it to Manhattan on a direct flight from Amsterdam. So he give it to Sean Pointer for giving him all that gear. So
well,
he'll
not
be
only
back
Bruno, but we were talking to some amateur athletes from Europe, out of Germany. Felix, his board didn't come. His suitcase did, but his board didn't come. And Tristan was able to find him a competition board, and he actually placed second in the amateur division.
Yeah. That's the thing about this community. Everybody's trying to help each other out. I mean, you're going to see, like, Sean, here, have a leash. Here's whatever you need. We'll find it for you. We'll get it done. And, I wanted to talk about something since we're on hold here. Last night we had our kickoff party here in Long Beach. Was that amazing or what, Bo?
I think the turnout, all the athletes came out. Tristan did a great job in coordinating that, and also Robert from the APP. And they honored some great locals here, the Scudden family, and also a 50-year retired lifeguard was honored with his contributions to the Long Beach area. And it really brought it full circle why we're here. And the community here in Long Beach, I just had lunch over at Half Moon Cafe, and she saw my shirt that said appworldtour.com. She says, "Are you in here for this event?" I'm so excited about this event. I mean, everybody, and especially the Scudden family, really wanted this event in the United States on the East Coast, not the West Coast.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these people have never seen stand-up paddling. The Scudden Surf School right here, they're teaching surfing all the time, and they saw the Rippers out. They saw Zane and the rest of the crew out, and they're like, these guys are amazing. Like, this is such a cool sport. So it's good to see the stoke. But also, last night, an assemblyman from New York was at the kickoff party. Like, that's how serious they take it.
Well, we just got word that we are a go for Heat 2, Round 1. Heat 2, Round 1 of the women. You saw the women. They're now going to their boards. And how important is it to have a leash today? As here's the lineup. A 4-lady heat. Top 2 will make the final. The bottom 2 will be delegated into the repechage.
That's right, and there's the one to watch out for. Mansa Notar, Candace Appleby, Stephanie Schindler from right here in Long Beach, New York. She was out there practicing this morning, made it look easy. She's like, wow, that was a lot easier. She was kind of shocked. So she was one of the ones that kind of let up and let it sort of on the way in and ended up falling off her board. She goes, one thing about this break is you can't back down. You got to be constantly on top of your board, centered with your balance, because it'll throw you off at any time.
Well, looking at the different ladies here, we've got, skin tights, 1 mils. We're seeing bikinis. We're seeing everything out here. So, do you wear your wetsuit? Do you not? So we've got a variety of mixture how they're dealing with the elements.
And let's go through the lineup here on the inside in the red rash guard. That is Mansa Notar, Candace Appleby in white, and then you have Stephanie Schindler from Long Beach in the turquoise on the far outside, and right inside her in the yellow, that's Gianessa Vecco from Peru. There's the sound of the horn right there. We're going to knock it down. You see them not really charging all that hard, Bo. They're kind of feeling it out as they nice little glide there by Candace. She'll make it to her feet first.
We call this a sprint, but it's not really a sprint. It's survival. It's a survival technical race. It's a short course technical race, basically what this is.
Exactly. This is a qualifying heat, so you're just trying to be the top 2. You don't want to make a significant mistake to take you out of it completely. And like we talked about this morning, this is not a race. This is being able to read the water. You're testing all your strengths here in this sprint qualifier. You see Candace Appleby weaving to the right there. So we talked about them weaving to the right, coming back to the left, just kind of picking their way through, because as you see there, you got sort of bumps coming from all directions.
Yeah, so these ladies are not only balancing north and south, but east and west.
Exactly, and there's a nice start. There's Schindler in the yellow. Look at her get side. She's going to jump back in that surf stand, try to blow over the top, and Schindler not going to make it. She goes down as Appleby makes it out free and clear, and I know she's stoked on that. The red rash guard looking sharp there. That's Mansa Notar on your left. So, unfortunately, Stephanie, I thought she was going to make that, Bo.
Yeah, but look at the wave experience that Candace has taken through this lineup, and it's been pretty much a clean lineup to go out.
Yeah, and you see how it kind of falls flat there right behind Stephanie in yellow. You see it's kind of flatter there, and then it starts to pick up there. You're seeing that little sandbar that's outside there, so it starts to shallow up. And looks like Candace looking very strong in this qualifying heat. She'll make it to that first can, get the whole shot.
Okay, we're hearing some rumblings on the outside
It's
of
going
the
away.
Thunder.
It's
But
going
it's
away,
moving.
Bo.
It's moving.
It's going away. It works. Adios. Adios, Thunderstorm.
Okay, so it's out and in, back out, and finish. That's the course.
Yeah, Vecco from Peru having a little trouble pushing her way out there in yellow. You saw her really struggling, kind of paddling in the same position there for a while as her paddle goes way up in the air, trying to keep her balance, and she finally made it out.
We see Candace Appleby making the first turn. Here comes Mansa. She's now turning on the buoy out of Slovenia. So you got USA and Slovenia 1-2 now. Now you want Mother Nature to bring waves.
Yeah, and
as you go out, you don't want any waves, but coming back in, you do want the waves.
And if you're joining us for the first time, this is the exciting part of the race, ladies and gentlemen. As you see Mansa trying to catch any kind of a bump, you can have a huge lead, catch one little bump, and close the gap. So that's what makes this type of racing so exciting. As there it is, Mansa on a little bump there. She falls off the side, but gained a little bit of distance on Appleby. As Appleby takes a look over her left-hand shoulder there, Bo, just looking for any kind of a little rise, but Candace having to paddle this one all the way out.
Remember, top two will advance on into the final. Bottom two will be delegated into the repechage, where Shea Fowdy will be in that one repechage heat. So Mansa goes down. Candace Appleby, her great surfing experience, she will be competing in the women's surfing coming up later this week here in Long Beach.
I think that's great. And, definitely one of the top favorites coming off that little bit of a rest, toe injury. We talked about it in the sprints. In the distance race on last Saturday, had a toe injury that kind of set her out. And talking to her, she's like, maybe I needed a little rest. And now she's come back stronger than ever. And you see her around that inside buoy turn. And this buoy turn, one of the most technical buoy turns in the event here today. And you see Mansa riding in. She'll see her sort of slow that board down, step off the backside of the backside of the board or backside of the wave there, and now try to make that turn as she struggles and has.
What is the procedure when an athlete goes down to get back in position of the stand-up position?
Well, there is a stroke rule that's in effect with the APP, so you cannot make more than 5 strokes on your knees, or you will be penalized. So you gotta get up as quickly as possible and blow out of that. That's Janessa Vecco from Peru, and it looks like the blue jersey. That's Stephanie Schindler, and this is where she had trouble in practice. In the blue, you saw her have trouble in this earlier. She seems to be posing still a problem for her. And the cool thing about Stephanie is she's actually trained under our race director Anthony Vela, so. She's had some really good instruction when it comes down to this.
Okay, so our back markers are now on the inside dealing with that first buoy. Back out to the lead, Candace Appleby. She looks in great form.
Yeah, Candace, like we talked about, better shape than we've seen her in a long time. Well rested. You see her hard on the right-hand stroke there. She's used to this. This is Doheny-type conditions almost for her. So she's used to this. She's done very, very well in these type of races in the past. Top female Battle of the Paddle winner and PPG winner over the years, so she's definitely a strong competitor. And there's Mansa from Slovenia, looking strong, Bo. That neck injury doesn't seem to be posing much of a problem on her there today.
No, not right now. And there's some of the fans, some Team Peru fans cheering her on. And here we go. Candace has made her final turn coming in for the finish. And just about 5 minutes into this sprint.
Very quick time here by Candace. You're going to see her look over her right-hand shoulder here, look for any kind of bump to be able to carry her in. She's pretty much had to paddle all the way through this entire race. She hasn't gotten much of a break as she just misses that one right there. So give it to her, really having to paddle. And there you see her sort of pull up and look out the back because she knows she has a good lead on Mansa. And the top two are going to move on, so she's just going to ride this one on home, Bo.
Excuse me, as we watch these athletes come in. Watch the form here. And right when I say it, she falls off. But she was trying to negotiate. She didn't want to take too much of a drop, and she did.
Yeah, it's tricky. That you got a 12'6", and you got bumps kind of stacking up on each other like they're doing out there. It's a little tricky conditions. You see them coming from right to left. You see them kind of converge. And that's one of the top female paddlers in the world right there. So you see the conditions that we're dealing with here in Long Beach, New York, as she goes down off the back end of the board there again. But
she knows she has a lead. So she doesn't want to blunder it too much and have two girls catch her, but she has a huge lead right now. And here comes Candace in for the finish. And we're approaching the 6-minute mark of the second sprint round number 1 for the ladies here at the APP World Tour. Welcome. We're broadcasting live from Long Beach and Long Island, New York. We are in day number 2 of competition. Day 1 was Saturday, where we had the distance race around the Statue of Liberty and the Hudson River. And there's your winner of the distance, Candace Appleby from San Clemente, Dana Point, California, coming across. and a comfortable win, and our Slovenia now in second.
Yeah, great race there by Monza. Looking very strong. I think she's back on her game. Like we talked about, that injury, really kind of a bummer that she had to deal with that on Saturday, but I know she's looking to charge in. So good to see the Slovenes really pushing hard here.
Okay, so we have 4 of our first 6 ladies in the final. It'll be Annie Reichart, Tareen Black, Candice Appleby, and Mansa Notar.
Look at that, huh? Gosh, I'll tell you. Pretty strong-looking women's heat there. So now we'll go into the repo. We'll see who makes it into the repo for the ladies.
But before we get to the repo, let's take care of the men.
Well,
the men are on deck next, and that'll be Heat 1, Round 1 of the men coming up. Until we got to wait for this race to come up. As you see, Candice.
She's stoked. Yeah, Candice. That a girl. I know after she took home that distance victory, she'd like to double up here, Bo.
Yeah.
As we're going to dry ourselves off as the sprinkle starts to come in again. Are we going to? Oh, I thought we were going to use it as a tent.
No, we're not going to use it as a tent because they can't see us. All right, we'll just leave it like this instead of keep wiping. All right.
I thought Bo was going to hold the towel above my head so I didn't get wet. Well, I thought you were a nice guy, Bo. There you go. Okay,
that's
perfect.
What you want.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
all right.
okay.
All right.
This is a lot nicer.
Now I'm getting wet.
At least I got better looking.
Okay. Leave the towel where I put it. Thank you. Now your papers are getting wet.
Everything's wet. Coming up in the men's, though, look at this heat. 2 heats, 8 paddlers, and a stacked one at each. I don't know which one I'd rather be in.
Well,
Heat 1 or Heat 2, they're both stacked.
You're going to either be in Heat 1 or Heat 2. We're going to put you in Heat 3.
I'm going to go in Heat 3.
Heat 3 doesn't compete today. So we do have a couple of write-ins from your sheet, so just to let you know that.
And there it is, the yellow race jersey. That is Janessa Vecco from Peru. Still going to paddle this one and try to make it in. And Stephanie, come on, Stephanie. You can do this, girl. As she's trying to make her way back out for that final left-hand buoy turn and put this Heat 2. If you're just joining us, this is Heat 2 of the ladies. Heat 1 already in the books. Heat 2, Candice Appleby and Mansa Notar from Slovenia, both moving on into the final. And this is the men's lineup. This is it, Bo. Bo, don't be scared. It's just a little water.
Yeah.
Let's watch the buoy turn here by the Peruvian. Nice job. Sits on the back of that board. Kind of she disappears from underneath that wave. Comes out. Good job, girl. So give her a lot of credit for out there. These conditions not all that ideal, but she's doing a great job.
Yeah, we'll be getting ready for the men's race once all the women have concluded, and they're starting to get up for a lineup. So Anthony may just send them off. We're going to start them right now. So here we go.
Let's go over this. There it is. You got black, the black race jersey. That is Bird Rodiger. Green, J.N. Constales. Red.
Of course, the number 1 seed right there in red. That'll be Michael Booth from Australia.
Stacked heat here. They're lined up. They're under starters' orders. Michael Booth takes a couple of steps. Anthony's going to back him back up. We'll see if he calls that a false start. Looks like he did call a false start on Michael Booth.
All right.
Booth, he takes a look on his right. So one more false start. He is
Look
out
for
of the
Casper
contest.
and Connor to get the quick edge here. They're known for that in sprints.
Definitely. Casper all the way from Denmark. Connor from Hawaii. You'll notice Connor by that unique paddle stroke. And Connor in the blue looking to take it early. And Connor getting up on his feet first. Just to the outside, that's Casper Steinfath in white. So Casper on the left-hand side of your screen in white. Connor in blue. Both these athletes side by side charging out through the surf line, Bo.
All right, let's watch these guys as they come through.
Both Connor wasting no time. That wave didn't have a chance with him blowing over the top. This one sort of washing out on Casper. Does a great job there, Bo, by handling that one. Looks like Casper will have the edge on the inside. But no, Connor comes from the right side and pushes in on Casper. Nice move there by Connor. And all of our athletes, boy, the top 4 pushing out through that wave break really nicely.
So we just got word from our beach marshal, Anthony Vela, that we started the men's heat at the conclusion of the women's heat to try to get in as many heats as we can because of the storm. This is only the front end of this storm coming through.
It might be the back end. It's hard to tell.
No, it's not the back end.
You don't think it's the back end?
Yeah.
The front end. You're thinking the other way. I'm looking the wrong way.
Okay.
There's Casper Steinfeld out in second position. Connor Basher from Hawaii out in first. Watch Connor go, how quick he makes it around.
Well, this is a 3-time racing world champion from the APP, Connor Baxter in the lead. Multi-Battle of the Paddle and Pacific Paddle Games champion also.
And look at the move by Michael Booth in red, overtaking Casper Steinfeld on that buoy turn. So Boothy, all that practice times this morning being the first one on the beach may have paid off for Michael Booth. And now look at Boothy trying to catch that wave just in front. So the nice thing about this type of situation is you're able to paddle over a wave and try to catch the one in front of it. And you see Boothy doing that. Now he's on the same bump as Baxter, going a little bit further, a little bit wider.
Remember, Drew, top three advance to the final. So that's where you want to be. And here we go. Baxter, Steinfath, and Booth, all 1, 2, and 3 right now.
Connor with a very smart race here, as now you see Boothy to the inside. Hill shot gets knocked down by the buoy. Booth takes an APP buoy to the side of the head. That'll push him down. That pushes Baxter really wide, which opens up the gap now for Steinfath on the inside. So a big mistake there by Michael Booth. However, this is just a qualifier. I know we're getting excited, but I love this stuff. And that'll push now Baxter far to the left-hand side in the blue rash guard. Boothy in red, and now Steinfath just kind of dragging here in third place, trying to push over the top there, Bo.
Okay, sorry, I'm getting underneath my tent here.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's just a little water.
Yeah, well, we got electronics, and we're holding on to electronics. Remember you used to work in radio?
You
never did live broadcast out in the elements?
It's just a little tickle. And look at Connor Baxter here, really reading the water. Took a couple paddle strokes off there. Going to let this set blow in on him. Watch how smart he is. He just pops over the top of that one. He'll wait for the next one. Very smart paddling here by Connor Baxter from Hawaii.
Yeah, Connor, this is his forte, isn't it?
Hey, no wave too big for Connor Baxter. That's what they always say. And he looked way to the left-hand side. I wonder where Booth is. We can take that camera angle just a little bit further to the left. We should see Michael Booth starting to converge. He went way wide on that. And now you see Connor starting to work back to the right. So you saw that diagonal, that zigzag that we talked about. He was utilizing that perfectly, as now it is really starting to rain here in Long Beach. Oh, baby. We want to give a big special thank you to our production guys. I got one holding an umbrella over my head right now. You got one holding an umbrella over your head, as it is starting to dump.
Yeah, Cy and Gary are helping us out here. And they have more important jobs to be in the technical room. But back out to the lead.
There's Michael Booth in red. You saw him off the front of your screen, but now that we got to do a camera angle, makes it around that buoy turn. Looks like first. Connor Baxter in second. And Casper Steinfath in. Hard to see now. Kind of washed out there, Bo.
Yeah, we got Boothy in the lead. We got Connor Baxter in second. That's one of our back markers out in black. I believe that is Bant, so he's having a hard time getting back out. So he's still on his first lap. We've got our leaders on their first lap. And here comes Michael Booth coming in.
Great performance here by Boothy. He was struggling this morning on practice, but boy, this qualifying heat posed no problem for him. So give it to the Australian Michael Booth, making that look really easy. Congratulations to him. However, it's just a qualifying heat, so Connor wasn't going full speed.
Well, top three get you into the final, and there you go. Under 5 minutes, we saw Candace Appleby do her 2 laps into 6 minutes, and 4:48 unofficially for Michael Booth. And this is making a statement here. Boothy's not known as a sprinter, but this is more of a technical race. There's Connor Baxter in blue now coming in. He'll qualify for second. And there's white in third, Casper Steinfath. So there's your first 3 finalists. And they're coming in the pink jersey. That's Zane Schweitzer in fourth.
He'll move to the repo heat.
Yep. And there's Bant coming in. Bant's now in fifth.
So that's the shakedown unofficially. Michael Booth from Australia moving on to the final. Connor Baxter from Hawaii moving on to the final. And Casper Steinfath from Denmark all moving on to the final unofficially. The rest will go into that repo heat coming up, Bo.
Yeah, right now we have Zane Schweitzer in fourth, Bant Rodinger in fifth, Tyler Basher in sixth right now. And we still got JM and Maximilian out on the course. So we're calling these sprints, but this is more of a technical race.
It is. You're really seeing the athletes have to read the water, zigzagging, picking their way through, getting out there. The smarter paddler is going to win today.
Well, there we see Casper Steinfath, a gold medal winner at the ISAs in this exact discipline of a sprint and a technical race winner.
Yeah, Casper, no stranger to this type of racing. Is definitely his strongest. Put on a heck of a show. Might go down as the greatest SUP win ever last year in Copenhagen in the sprints, even though it was just, a straight line racing, but just a tremendous athlete and a tremendous individual.
Okay, so here are the partial results right now. Well, no, this is heat number 2 seeded. Artur Arukin from France will be the top seed. He is leading right now the APP rankings. Number 1, Travis Grant, who was 3rd in the distance over in Manhattan, will be in the white jersey and the blue jersey. Mo Freitas from Haleiwa, Captain America. Slater Trout will be in yellow. Kai Linney, winner of the sprints in London, will be in the black jersey. Danny Ching from Southern California will be in the pink jersey. From Peru in green, Itzhak Delgado. Jermaine Walcott from Barbados will be in the blue jersey.
And it looks like Tremaine may have scratched. It looks like possibly, we'll have to take a look at that a little closer, as it looks like Jeremy Vane from Boston, Massachusetts may have replaced him, but we'll get some eyes on him. We'll make that observation for you here. But another stacked heat, and both, like you said, Arthur definitely coming off a big win last Saturday. We'll see how he fares.
Okay, there are the results. Michael Booth in first, Connor Baxter in second, Casper Steinfath in third. All three elevate themselves into the final. Down in the repechage will be led by Zane Schweitzer in fourth, Bant Rodinger in fifth, Tyler Basher in sixth, Maximilian Torres in seventh, and JM takes eighth place. And we are getting ready for a start of our next heat.
Ones to watch out for, like we mentioned, Arthur Arukin. Also, there's the man himself in the green hat, one of the legendary paddlers, Danny Ching from Southern California. You mentioned him. This is his kind of a race. We saw how easy he made it out just in practice. And on the end there, the youngster, Itzel Delgado from Peru, the young teenager. I know his mom's back home watching, cheering him on, so we wish all these athletes well as they're off, Bo.
Okay, here we go. Heat 2, round 1 of the men, same as round 1 of the men's first heat. Top 3 make the final. The other 5 delegated into the repechage. And we'll have 2 repechage heats for the men, and it'll be winner take all for the men, top 2 for the women coming out of their repechage.
Nice clean start for all the paddlers, as it looks like not much of a set building so far. We'll see what's off the backside there, but this might be the easiest heat of the entire first 4, Bo.
Well, and I think Anthony Vela, our contest director, waited for a lull. He caught and saw a lull on the outside. Now you see some of the surfers battling that midsection, but our top leaders are really dominating heading out to the outside.
Trying to make out who's in front there. It looks like Danny Ching on the right-hand side in pink. That's Danny's color of choice,
and
not so
Slater
much.
Trout in yellow.
But great start. That's what I was going to say. A great start there by Slater Trout. I know he hasn't been training all that hard, but boy, a great start and a great glide for him.
Okay, so we got Danny Ching in first, Kai Linney in second. Looks like pink in third right now. That is Danny Ching. And fourth place in green. Taking a look there, that is Itzal Delgado. So coming around the first marker, Danny Ching in pink, and I saw him practicing out earlier, watching him for 20 minutes. He was making the best runs in and out through the surf zone. There we go, Kai Linney in black, now making his turn. There's Itzal Delgado in third. Remember, top 3.
Oh, man.
And there's Captain America, Slater Trout in fourth.
It's El Delgado with a great start. The young Peruvian looking sharp there, right on, trying to catch up to Kai Linney. You see Kai Linney on the right-hand side in black now, going to try to push past Danny Ching. Danny takes a look over his left-hand shoulder there, goes, oh boy.
Mo Freitas in fifth right now, so Mo's got to catch 3 positions, but this is his best area. Catching waves and riding them and surfing them in.
Mo can catch any little bump out there. Even if there's not a bump, Mo will find it.
Well,
and
he just caught a bump, and he's on the tail of Slater Trout. And here we go. Itzal Delgado in third right now in green. And right now, Kai Linney has caught Danny Ching for first.
Yeah, Danny Ching's got the inside here. You're going to see Danny start to push Kai out wide, and there he goes. Oh, and Danny falls down. Now he'll go down to his belly, but that still pushes Kai a little wider. Big mistake there. That is not a very common mistake there by the legendary Danny Ching. He goes down again. Come on, Danny, you got this, buddy.
And Mo Freitas has gone from fifth to third. We told you about his surfing skills, and on the buoy turn, now he's gone to second. Mo Freitas from Haleiwa has gone from fifth to second place from the wave on the outside all the way onto the inside.
It's El Delgado still holding in there in the yellow. So in the green, but Slater Trout passes him in yellow, moving on up there. But Danny Ching, that is a huge mistake by Danny Ching from California. I know he's kicking himself for that. Now he's got to do some catch-up.
Danny has gone from first to fourth. From fourth to third is Slater Trout. From fifth to second is Mo Freitas, and from second to first is Kai Lenny.
Yeah, Kai Lenny looking very strong in this. You know, you thought he was going to get pushed there wide by Danny. Danny goes down in front of him. He still has the ability to kind of circumnavigate his way around and keep that first place position. But you see that inside buoy, there's no joke. I mean, you're catching those waves on the side rail. It's throwing you all around, and they're coming from left and right there, kind of making it pose a big problem. So there is a reason why that's the most technical buoy on this course.
And Drew, the men are paddling 14-foot boards.
Absolutely. I mean, they're used to it, though. I mean, that's pretty standard all across the West Coast and Hawaii. As Kai Lenny out there in black, let's watch him. He gets in that surf stance, whips around that APP buoy. Beautifully done, just right in between those lulls. So you saw him kind of wait. That wave pushed through. He whipped around on the trough and makes it around nice and clean. And that's the blue. That's going to open it up. But look at Slater Trout. He's looking in good position to move on to this final.
Okay, let's watch these guys coming in. Kai comfortably in, 4-minute mark. Michael Booth finished his lap at 4:48, so we'll time these guys. Mo Freitas, Mo's got to feel outstanding. As he rounded that first buoy, he was in 5th place. Coming in to the finish, he's now comfortably in 2nd.
And Mo coming off a big win at PPG just a couple of years ago in this exact type of format. So, you know, great racer, great talent, great ocean man, comes from a great family. I know his dad, Tony's home watching from Hawaii right now, rooting him on, but there it is, the man to talk about, Kai Lenny, the Red Bull athlete from Hawaii, going to take top honors in this heat.
4:30 unofficially, so faster than Booth in the first heat. There's Mo Freitas in 2nd, so we'll count these guys as they come on through. 3rd place, advancing into the final.
Is that Danny?
No, that's
that's
Slater Trout.
So Slater will move on. Danny
so
will
we
be
were
in
seeing
4th.
the black jersey come running up, and that was Anthony Villa just making sure who was coming across. So unofficially, 1, 2, 3, Kai Lenny, Mo Freitas, Slater Trout.
And give it to this young man from Peru, Itzel Delgado. What a race for this young man. He's one of the up-and-comers, one to watch out for. In 3rd place around that first buoy turn. A lot of talent in that young man right there. Congratulations
to him. So was that 5th? Yeah, there's Danny Ching. So Danny takes 4th. Danny will be in the repechage. Itzel will also be in the repechage. And unfortunately for those guys, and especially for Danny, he was in 1st place rounding that first buoy.
Danny's got to be bummed. That inside buoy turn, that is not very characteristic of Danny Ching. He is usually super clean around those buoys.
Where's Arthur Arukin?
Good question.
Where's Travis Grant?
Haven't seen him. As we're going to have to go out to the water right now. Arthur was wearing the red rash guard, and we're taking our eyes to the water as there's Slater Trout on the right. Big smile out of that young man. He might not be training very hard, but I'll tell you, he put on a heck of a performance. As there's our assemblyman from Long Beach right there.
Yep.
I misplaced his name in the black jacket. One of the assemblymen for New York. Retired, out here supporting. Big advocate of surfing here in Long Beach in New York. Want to thank him for everything he's done, for getting this event here, working so tight with Tristan. And it's been a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching legendary action here from New York. And if you missed Manhattan, watch the replay. Getting to do a buoy turn around the Statue of Liberty, Bo Hodge.
Well, more importantly, Arthur Arukin, who's leading the APP World Tour, is delegated into the repechage. And if he doesn't make it out of the repechage, as we see him in red on the far side of your screen, that could play an 8-ball into the overall world rankings. So here we go. Here are the results. Kai Lenny, Mo Freitas, Slater Trout, 1, 2, 3 in the final. Danny Ching, Itzel, Artur, Travis, and Jeremy all now allocated, Jeremy Vane, all allocated to the repechage. And that's going to be a very competitive repechage round.
Yeah. I mean, look, in this type of racing, there could be someone come from the repo heat and win the event, Bo. I mean, that's just how talented this field is. So just because they're going on to the repo doesn't mean they're any less of a paddler. You're seeing one of the top points leader going to the repo, so he could come back and win it, the Frenchman. So watch out for that. It's a lot of racing action still to come. But what's coming up next, Bo?
Coming up next will be the repechage for the women. And we're going to see Shea Foudy up against Stephanie Scheidler and Gianessa Vico. So 3 ladies and top 2 will make the women's final.
And Shea, I know, disappointed with that initial, but no harm, no foul yet. She still has a chance to make it into that final.
Here we go. A four-lady heat here. Top two into the final.
As all three of our ladies making their way out, you see that looks like in the yellow, she'll keep her yellow rash guard. That's Janisa Vecco. And it looks like, as we're trying to look through that Peruvian flag right there, it's hard to tell. As we have, like you mentioned, Shea Foudy, Stephanie Schidler, all on the water in this repo heat. Just trying to make it on. So you're going to see the paddlers kind of rest here, sort of let this wave go through. A bigger one just coming behind it. So they'll settle, let it kind of push through, and that's Foudy in red, I believe. Vecco in yellow, and Schidler just keeping the turquoise jersey. So they kept their jerseys, their rash guard colors from the initial race.
Okay, Drew, just got informed that we do have a course change for the women's repechage. A course change. They're going to be making a horseshoe, so they'll be going out, turning on buoy 1, go to buoy 2 on the outside, and then coming in. So we're eliminating the inside buoy coming in. So they'll be going out to that first buoy, making a left-hand turn, turning next on the buoy that you can't see on your screen, and then coming in.
That's going to eliminate that very technical turn we saw Danny Ching really make a huge mistake on earlier, so that will make it a little bit easier. However, you know, these ladies, they might be a little bummed about that. These ladies are very competitive, but it will make it a little bit easier. As you see, all of them trying to push through this initial set, having a little bit of a problem. Let's see if Foudy can push through and get out into that open and clean water. And Foudy hard on the left-hand stroke there in the red rash guard, making it over the top. And Foudy will go over the handlebars. So none of our ladies in this repo heat have made it out yet. And that's the yellow of Gianessa Vecco from Peru, as they're all just kind of huddled there. So conditions not getting any easier for these athletes, Bo.
No, and they are battling the elements out here as all the athletes and our production staff. We are in a pouring rain here at Long Beach on Long Island. Day number 2 of the 2018 APP Stop number 2 New York Sup Open. We are in the sprints, but it's more of a short course technical race as the surfers are going out through the surf zone. And they had an athletes meeting at 10 o'clock this morning, Drew, and they all talked about, well, you know, some of the competitors have flights booked out tonight and tomorrow, so are we going to race in the rain? And they all voted to have the races in the storm.
Let's go. And yeah, the young lady in red, you see falling there a couple of times. That's one of the top paddlers in the world. I mean, that's the kind of conditions we're dealing with here. The top APP point standing young lady, as she's going to try to push this, see if she can get out here. Hard on the left hand, blast through that one. Now she's got her balance. One more. Come on, Shea, you got this, girl. As she might shift. There she is. She caught the little trough there, the little lull. You see her catch right between the left and the right. We talked about that area earlier, and Shea goes down. But you got to understand, Bo, they've already been on the water almost 3 minutes trying to push out through that initial descent. They got to be getting tired.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, they've already done one course lap. Now they're doing their second series, and especially for the top two who have to go into the final, where we've seen for the women already advancing on through is Annie Reichardt, Tareen Black, Candace Appleby, and Mansa Notar.
And that's going to be, you know, if Shea can pull this off, this is going to let you know how much of a strong woman this is, because, I mean, she's having to come back from the repo heat, jump in a final, and you see how much energy she's having to push out here. It's no joke. So, I mean, she's having to really persevere here. She's going to make to that first left-hand shoulder turn buoy, and I think the girls might be happy at this point. They're not coming into that shoreline buoy you're seeing on the right-hand side of your screen there. This could be a good thing for them.
Okay, we are 4 minutes into this race. You see our competitors still heading out, still battling not only the surf, the wind, but the elements. It is pouring rain. We have thunder. We've had sheets of lightning off course where we've actually held a standby, but right now we are in a go pattern.
And it's still dumping rain here. Still dumping rain in Long Beach. We had a little break in the action, but now it's coming back a little bit heavier than it was before, and that is Shea Foudy from California, the 19-year-old. Hard on the left-hand stroke, going to catch this bump right there. Get it, Shea. There she goes. And that'll help with a little bit of endurance she's had to endure over the course of this race, and she'll ride this one all the way into the beach. And now she'll have to catch some well-deserved rest before she gets ready for that final there, Bo.
Yeah, this is her second heat of the afternoon, and she's world number 1 on the APP World Tour, the young 19-year-old out of Maui. Excuse me, I was mixing it up with Annie Reichart. This is the youngster out of Southern California. Here she comes in. Shea Foudy dismounts. She'll release her leash around her waist. And now she has joined the ladies in the final. It'll be Annie Reichart, Tareen Black, Candace Appleby, Mansa Notar, and right now Shea Foudy. Who's going to be the next lady to qualify?
That is the question right now. It looks like the yellow rash guard, that's Janessa Vecco from Peru. Looks like she might push in, so we'll have a really strong international field going into this women's final. You see her getting really low, trying to keep her balance, trying to ride this wave in. Well done by the Peruvian. So congratulations to her. Getting a little sideways. She's just showing off, Bo.
Well, she's very talented.
Like, watch
These are
this.
the
I'm
best
going to throw
in the
this
world.
thing sideways.
So 6 minutes, 15 seconds into this race. Top 2 of this repechage for the women will advance on into the women's final.
Well, if we have a break here, do you want to come on and talk with us?
I really do because I'm telling you something.
And here she comes across. You can see she's tired. Been battling the elements in the driving rain, and she knows she has now made the final. Our other athletes still out on the course.
Give me 1 second. We're going to have a break. Just hang tight.
Coming up next, men's repechage, Heat 1. We'll have 2 heats of the men's repechage on deck next, and for the men's repechage, it's even tougher than women's repechage. It's winner take all.
Yeah, this is it. Only one will survive, as we see Stephanie Schindler from right here in Long Beach, New York. She's got a lot of support from the locals here. I know a strong personality. She had a huge smile on her face this morning. And, just finishing this race in this type of field, congratulations to her as she'll grab her board. She'll get back up. That's the New York way. They don't back down to nobody. Bo.
Yeah, well, these are fighters. And this is the best of the world here at Long Beach on Long Island, New York. Welcome to day number 2 of the 2018 New York Sup Open, all part of the APP World Tour, the Association of Paddle Professionals, watching live on our webcast here at appworldtour.com and also live on Facebook.
Come on, Steph. You're almost there, girl. You got this. She looks a little winded there, Bo. That was a heck of a race for her. Great staff there. Going to grab her board. She'll run across, and she'll finish this baby. She's still got a smile on her face. And like we were mentioning before, she trained under Anthony Vela, who's a very, very talented coach. Coaches back home in California, and he's here as our race director today. And she was saying how instrumental Anthony was for teaching her this type of race. She goes, I would have never raced in this ever if it wasn't for Anthony.
Well,
he showed me how to do it, taught me how to do it, and really supported her all the way through. So congratulations, Steph.
If you're in the Dana Point area and you're looking for some professional paddling, performance paddling.
He does it.
My computer has got too much water.
Yeah, it's raining pretty good here. Let's see if we have a little break in the action, because we got a special guest in the booth with us, Bo. We got Harvey Weisenberg, former assemblyman, former cop here in New York. But we'll go through the finals here, or through this repo heat.
Well, there you go. There's our 3-lady final, and top 2 advancing on into the final. Shea Foudy dominating there in the red jersey, and Stephanie Schindler will make the final for the women. So it'll be Annie Reichart, Tareen Black, Candace Appleby, Mansa Notar, Shea Foudy, and Stephanie Scheidler.
Good heat coming up, so don't go anywhere. Keep it tuned to APP Tour. We're appworldtour.com, as we got the most exciting action still to come for the women's. The women's final set, like Bo said. Now we're going to try to set the men's final.
Yeah, and we're on a standby. We're on a hold basis right now as we're waiting for more of these thunderstorms to blow on through.
And I'm gonna give up my chair, because we got an honorary distinguished man in the booth with us, Harvey Weisenberg, former assemblyman, former cop, joining us in the booth. I'm going to turn it over and let you handle it, Bo.
All right, Harvey, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a privilege to be with you.
Well, how exciting is it for you to be a host of this event here in Long Beach?
Well, I have to share with you, I've been a lifeguard. I'm the oldest working lifeguard in the state of New York.
Well, you're talking to an ex-Sitting County lifeguard from Honolulu.
I put in 62 years on the beach so far.
Yeah,
and
well,
I'm
I
still
appreciate
an
all that
examiner
service.
and test them. Lifeguards for life.
Yes. Tell us about your experiences here at Long Beach.
I tell you, I thank God every day, and I make people aware of the beauty and that God gave us a beautiful beach to take advantage of, to be able to bring happiness to families that seek happiness. There's nothing to me more pleasurable or important. And I used to say this to my kids, the things that I love most in this world don't cost money. The reality of appreciating what's here and utilizing the resources where people can work together, learn to love and respect each other. And it's amazing because last night at our affair, and I met so many people, and I'm saying the differences that exist in our society and our world today are all joined together with love, holding hands, working together. And it shows that there are good people in this world. And look at the attitude and the values that are being shown here of hard work and appreciation, utilizing the resources that are here to put a smile on everybody's face.
Well, Harvey, yourself, the Scudin family, and everybody in this community really pushed to have this event here at Long Beach and in Manhattan.
Well, I always say Long Beach is a small city. We have 35,000 people, 3 miles long and a half a mile wide, and yet we have the resource that God gave us and we utilize it. I can tell you that, I'll give you an example. On Super Bowl Sunday, we have a polar bear swim. We make $600,000 for Make-A-Wish in one day. And that's because we're utilizing what we have, and that's the ocean that God gave us, and we're using it to help people and agencies that need all the resources they can get to be able to provide decency, dignity, respect, and a safe environment for those who need it the most, people with disabilities.
Well, Harvey, we're getting ready for our first repechage heat of the men. I want to thank you for coming on to the webcast and thank you for all your contributions. And as an old lifeguard to, even an older lifeguard, I thank you for your service and all the rescues that you have made.
God bless you and all those competitors and their families. It's a pleasure having them in Long Beach.
Aloha, Harvey. All right. And here we go. Our first repechage heat. Winner take all. Winner goes straight into the final. We have a 5-man repechage. We got Zane Schweitzer in red, Itzel Delgado in white. We got Tyler Basher in blue. We got Travis Grant in yellow, and J.M. Costal will be in the black jersey.
How amazing was that? You just interviewed an assemblyman.
Oh yeah, but
what an amazing individual.
Lifeguard,
Yeah.
So I've walked in his shoes.
A tremendous individual. He's down there cheering on everybody. He hasn't missed a bit of the action since the APP has been here, and he keeps thanking us, and we just want to thank him and all the volunteers, all the folks that helped put this on. I know it wasn't an easy task. Tristan, give it to the man. He'll tell you, he did a wonderful job, and we're only halfway through. But there it is on the water, Repo Heat number 1, as our sheets are getting nice and wet. As we move on to the next heat there, Itzel Delgado paddling a nice Repo Heat here.
Yeah, here we go. Surfer in white, Itzel Delgado. He'll be making the first turn. It looks like Zane Schweitzer will be on his tail. Remember, it's not top 3, it's not top 2. It's winner goes to the final. So our Peruvian out in the lead from Lahaina, Maui in second place. Turning on buoy the third, it looks like Tyler Basher.
Look at this, Bo. You got Basher, who's 17 years old. You got Delgado, who's 18 years old.
Then you got the 4-time Molokai to Oahu champion in yellow. That's Travis Grant on the far left-hand side.
So,
Travis, a former Battle of the Paddle PPG winner.
A tremendous performance here by the teens as they are all 4 wide coming into this inside buoy turn. You see Zane in red taking a couple strokes off. He's going to try to catch this little bump right behind him that the blue jersey of Basher caught beautifully. Basher from California riding that one out perfect. And look at Zane getting wild. That's more Zane style.
And we have all 4 of our competitors tied in first.
That is an incredible sight as they all come to this inside buoy. This is the most technical buoy. Schweitzer trying to push in the yellow. That is Travis Grant getting washed out in that inside buoy turn. But look at how wide Schweitzer had to go, and the screen's starting to break up there. But Tyler Basher with the best buoy turn on that inside technical. The young gun from California, give it to the kid.
All right. The race is not over. As we saw Mo Freitas earlier in his first round heat, he was in 5th place, but he comes in the second, and who goes down? That's
Zane Schweitzer.
That's Zane Schweitzer in red.
Schweitzer goes wide and goes down. I know he's bummed about that. Now he has a lot of making up to do, but Tyler Basher from California looking fantastic here in the blue rash guard, up and over the top of that one beautifully, Bo.
Okay, so we are just halfway through, 3 minutes into this repechage, and right now, the youngster, Tyler Basher, in the lead, followed by, in the white, Itzel Delgado from Peru.
But look at now. Here comes Zane Schweitzer coming from left to right in the red rash guard. He might have fallen, but it looks like he's going to push up and push up in front. On that outside leg is Etzel. The youngster's having a little trouble going straight out towards that buoy.
Well, you know what happened, Drew? Both Tyler and Etzel, they were battling a current that was pushing in, and a current going out was Zane Schweitzer.
So Schweitzer actually lucked out by going down and getting pushed wide because he had cleaner water and, like you said, avoided that whole entire thing. Oh, tough break there by the teenagers, but Schweitzer really lucking out as he'll go on his backside turn here. Back whooping wide. You see that starboard swing around that APP buoy. He drops down, but that ain't going to bug him.
And here we go. It looks like Travis Grant may have sneaked into 2nd place, but it looks like Tyler will get that inside turn. And remember, first place takes first into the final, and Zane Schweitzer, the former ISA World Sup Surfing Champion from Lahaina, Maui, is in the lead, but watch these back waves. They could creep up like we saw in that first turn.
Yeah, this is where it really starts being a technical. You saw Zane take a couple of strokes off. He's looking for that little bump, and now he's not. He's going to try to catch every single little runner he possibly can, and here comes the rest of the field trying to converge on him. As there's the blue jersey, they're going to have to paddle up. Basher's going to have to make a move on him right here if he's going to do it. And Basher just going to ride this one out to the back end of Schweitzer. So now the 1-2 is Schweitzer gets stuck in no man's land. Bo, only one will survive right now. Zane Schweitzer on the right-hand side of your screen. And now added is the white jersey. That's Itzel Delgado from Peru. Delgado's got about a half aboard. It's going to come down to the run.
Here we go. Let's watch the run as they finish.
And here comes Schweitzer. Etzel Delgado goes down. Schweitzer hits the sand. And now he is edged out at the finish line by Tyler Basher, the 17-year-old unofficially from California. Huge win. Huge win by that young man.
Zane Schweitzer had a lead, but it was the surf that brought the field up to Zane. And then all of a sudden, Itzel had a chance, but he falls off. And what happened at the end?
Oh, man, it came down to the end there. It just came down to the run. Zane looked like he had that. And it looked like on the outside, unofficially. Kind of hard to see. Here's the official results. Tyler Basher, the teenager, 17 years of age. He has a prom coming up in a couple of weeks. I know he's been preparing. Prom, junior prom's coming up. I know he's really been preparing for that. He's got a hot date, he says. So congratulations to him, Zane Schweitzer from Hawaii. Unfortunately, not going to move on to the finals, so he'll fall out on this one. Itzel Delgado, the youngster from Peru, going to take 3rd. But again, what a performance there by Basher. I know he's got to be happy.
Well, for Tyler, this is his coming out party. He's now made the final of the sprints, and here we go. This is our next heat. Bant Rodinger from Hawaii, from Maui, will be in that red jersey, yellow jersey, Maximilian Torres. Danny Ching in red, Arthur Arukin. I've got different colors. We got, from my sheet, it should be Danny Ching in white, Arthur Arukin in blue, Torres should be in yellow, and Jeremy Vane should be in black in this heat.
Let's see if we can get an eye on him. We'll be able to recognize him and pick that out immediately. As we take a look at the start, as these heat times starting to pick up a little bit, Bo, because only one will survive. Danny Ching in red. So those are inaccurate, the ones you just gave. So it looks like Danny Ching in red and Arthur wearing blue. I can't see who the other ones are. So unofficially, it was hard to see on that last heat. Let's just see if that holds true. Because the race jerseys were a little off color there. So we'll have to make sure that is the accurate standing, as I know our team is making sure of that as we speak. And there's the start there. Danny Ching in the green hat with a nice start, about a half a board length late. Watch the glide. Perfect glide there by Ching from Redondo Beach. As now we got it right. That a baby, Bo.
Okay.
Give us the update.
Yeah, okay. In red, Danny Ching got out to a good start. You can see in white, that's Bant Rodinger from Maui. And you see yellow in the middle of the screen. That's going to be Torres. And then also out there in blue, Artur Rukin, APP world #1 heading into the sprints, but having his problems here on the beach break.
Yeah, you see Arthur now coming in from the right to left part of your screen, currently sitting in second, has a lot of work to do. He's looking at the back end, the red rash guard of one of the top champions ever in stand-up paddling, Danny Ching. He knows he has a lot of work to do, Bo.
Well, out of this four-man heat, only one make it out into the final to join Tyler Basher and the rest who have qualified from round #1.
Yeah, we want to make sure that's accurate, but so far that is accurate. Bo's saying that is confirmed, so that is official. So congratulations to Tyler Basher making it in on that repo heat. And here comes Danny Ching. Watch how easy Danny makes it around this buoy turns. He switches that surf stand, backside turn there, scraping that APP buoy, almost rubbing the paint off of it, having to push Arthur that much more wider. But we saw sometimes the wider angle is the more beneficial angle, Bo.
All right, but we saw Danny have his problems in the first round in his second heat. As he was in the lead coming in, he fell off his board, went from first to fifth place.
That technical turn, that's very uncharacteristic Danny Ching, and you see him really pulling hard trying to catch on this wave right here. There he is, Danny Ching on the right-hand side of your screen, Arthur Arukin on the left-hand side, both riding it in to that inside turn. Now watch, Danny knows this turn better than anybody in the sport, I believe. Him and Connor do this more perfect than anybody else. As they come in, they have to sort of slow it down, back off the back end, and this would put a lot of problems happen for Danny last time. I guarantee he will not make the same mistake.
They're taking a wide angle into the turn. Arthur and Danny playing it cautious. And here we go. Arthur makes the transition. Here goes Danny. Both regular foot riders, so they're on their forehand making this turn.
Yeah, Danny maybe being a little too cautious around that buoy turn. We'll have to see. I thought he would have charged it a little tighter, trying to push Arthur out, because now Danny falling off about a board and a half length behind the Frenchman.
Here we go. Bant Rodinger from Maui now making his turn, heading on the outside. Anything could happen. We see our competitor in yellow. This is Torres now coming in. And there goes down. Danny Ching in second.
Gosh. Yeah, this is the problem. The bigger set now blowing in on these. Arthur making it out free and clear, and that was the problem. I mean, you saw Ching, just that little bit of hesitation, even though he's only a board and a half, 2 boards behind, or Arthur, you saw, posed a big problem for him. So Arthur in good position now to take this repo heat.
Former Battle of the Paddle world champion, former PPG champion. There goes Danny Ching over the surf, but Arthur Arukin from France, the winner of the distance race, from Manhattan, the leader on the APP, needs to get into that final to keep the points alive, to keep that lead over Michael Booth.
And you saw how quick he tried to make it around that outside buoy. I mean, he whipped around that as fast as he could. Now he's going to try to catch any one of those bumps. He wanted that one in front of him. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, just to try to give him that little extra edge. And you see Ching right now just having to power through that. I know he's going to be very disappointed with this, but Arthur, you see him weaving in and out, trying to catch this little runner coming from behind him. Arthur, a very fast heat so far, Bo.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 20 seconds. This is the fastest we've seen of these course races coming in, as we're calling them sprints, but it's more like a course race. It's a technical race. And Arthur Arukin, world #1 on the APP, coming in, your distance winner around the Statue of Liberty and back, has now redeemed himself and found himself back into the final here at Long Beach.
That's more characteristic of the Frenchman. Young Frenchman, just got picked up by Red Bulls. And really, his body physique and his training has really increased immensely. And he's really putting on a lot of muscle, and you're starting to see that power really come out of Arthur this year for the first time.
Well, Arthur Arukin into the final, world #1, heading into the sprints here at Long Beach, coming in. A disappointment for Danny Ching, second place.
Danny's got to be bummed, come all the way out from Redondo Beach, California, one of the top paddlers in the world. He had it. That first heat, that big mistake cost him and probably pushed him out of this race entirely. But he's always going to have a smile on his face. He taught a great clinic out here in New York just yesterday. So great ambassador to the sport, and we're lucky to have people like Danny Ching in this sport.
We're seeing some of the SUP surfers practicing for their go on the other side of the jetty on the left side of the rock wall. They'll be coming up with their first day of competition coming up tomorrow. Sup Surfing was scheduled to have the early rounds of the men's trials this morning, but was canceled due to the inclement weather and the onshore and the gusty winds that we had this morning. So we are set for 2 finals. Women's final coming up next, men's final to follow.
And, you got to give it to the young gun. I'm still talking about it. I mean, Tyler Basher, the 17-year-old, in the final here at the APP World Tour stop to New York. He's got to be stoked.
Yeah, and welcome.
Yeah.
You are up against Kai Lenny, Connor Baxter, Michael Booth, Mo Freitas, Casper Steinfath, and Slater Trout, who qualified in round number 1. And now Arthur Arukin, APP World number 1, he's going to have a quick turnaround. How much energy did he exert in that repechage? Does he have enough in the gas to possibly win the distance and the sprints?
These athletes are definitely have to endure a lot of strength and a lot of endurance getting their way out there, and especially Arthur now having to race 2 races to everybody else's 1. But he's in great physical shape. I mean, you saw him paddle 5.5 miles the other day, hardly winded at the end. So he's a young kid. You know how it is when you're young?
Yeah.
This stuff doesn't really faze you.
There you saw the official results of repechage number 2. Arthur Arukin in first, goes into the final. Danny Ching second, Bent Rodinger third, and Maximilian Torres in fourth. And there's the lineup for the women.
Yeah, the women are already taken to the lineup, but I'll tell you what, we want to thank Harvey Weisenberg, former assemblyman. Look, he dropped me off my present, Bo. Look at
yeah, he brought you
my
hats and shirts.
My New York lifeguarding hat. Now I feel like I've been baptized.
Oh my
How's it
God.
look on me? Do I look good?
How embarrassing.
Do I look
you
good?
Wearing a lifeguard hat.
Do I look good?
We got to put you through training.
Let's train.
You
Let's
got to
do
swim
this.
1,000 meters. All right? That's the basic swim in under 20 minutes. Can
I got
you do
it.
that?
Oh, yeah,
All right?
for sure. Let's
Can
sign
you
me
paddle a paddleboard 400 meters in under 4 minutes?
Easy.
Okay. Can you do a run, swim, run
Absolutely.
in under 3.5 minutes?
Sign me up.
Okay.
Just because I'm a mountain boy doesn't mean I can't.
City and County of Honolulu just announced their local tryouts in Hawaii. You could be a
I'm
Hawaii
gonna,
lifeguard.
I'm going to sign up.
Okay, there you
sign
go.
up.
Annie Reichart will be in red, Tareen Black in white, Shea Foudy in black. We've got Candace Appleby in the blue jersey. Also, Mansa will be in the yellow jersey. We will have Shea Foudy in the black, and Stephanie Scheidler will be in the pink.
Wasting no time here. Under starters orders aren't ready, Bo.
All right, getting ready for a start here in our women's final for the 2018 New York Sup Open here at Long Beach.
Oh, nice camera angle there, showing all the athletes getting down in that sprinter stance. And this initial glide is going to be crucial. As you saw, getting out through that first little surf break, that seems to be where you want to be. Those who make it out first, the next set could be bigger and set you back even further. As Mansa, very lackadaisical out on the left-hand side in yellow. She just kind of standing there very nonchalant. And there's the start, Bo.
All right, here we go. Watch out for Candace Appleby in blue. She's center. She had a great start in her opening round heat. And there she goes again, right in the middle. Up to her feet, and no one around her.
We do need to point out, they do get lane choice. So you get lane choice based upon where your point standings are in the APP. So Candace choosing to go dead center of the lane, and Candace goes down right there quick and early.
But off screen right there's Tareen Black in white, and off to her right is Annie Reichart in red in the lead.
Yeah, Annie Reichart with a great start, starting on that far right-hand side, which we saw in the last heat, seemed to be the fastest line, Bo. So Annie, a very smart paddler. She definitely was watching in that last repo heat.
Okay, and there goes Tareen Black. She goes down. So Annie Reichart on the right. You can't see her. She's in red. She's out in the lead. And now making a move in yellow is Mansa.
Mansa Notar from Slovenia. She'll go over the handlebars there. There is no chance. Candace Appleby back upside down and out. But look at now the black rash guard. Shea Foudy comes out of the repechage heat and now is the leader in the final here for the ladies.
Yeah, but we can't see red and white right now. So please don't announce something you don't know right now.
Bo, I have a feeling. And there it is, the wide angle shot. Shea Foudy out in the lead. Her mom going crazy underneath the tent right now. So the young girl from San Clemente had to race a whole extra repo heat to make it into this final, looking in prime shape here.
So caught in the current was Annie Reichart and Tareen Black. Amazing.
And now Candace Appleby in blue trying to make up that distance. And the pink jersey, that is Schiffler from right here in Long Beach, New York. So third place But a lot of racing action still to go. Now, we caught word they're going to come to this inside technical buoy.
Haven't got word yet from right now, but I believe they're going to do the full course right now.
Full course. So that's what we're looking for. Foudy.
Made the transition, yes. And here she goes. Now, the battle for second place. Is it Candace? Is it Stephanie? It's going to be Candace.
Yeah, Candace going to push her out to the outside. Candace, very smart buoy turner here, but Foudy tried to catch that little bump to extend that distance even further. But this is where Candace Appleby thrives, as she tries to jump on that wave, and now trying to close the gap on Foudy. And this could be Candace Appleby coming all the way, passing Foudy on the outside. Foudy falls off the back end of the wave. Unfortunately, so you saw it. It doesn't matter. That's Candace's strong point, and she executed it to perfection. If she would have fallen off the back of that wave, she'd have been sitting in second. Now both 1-2, Foudy on the right, Appleby on the left, training partners, both from California, coming into the inside tech buoy. Candace with the inside lane.
All right, there's going to be a buoy turn. Here we go. Front side, back side. Front side will be Candace Appleby. Back side, Shay Foudy. And Shay has now gained some ground on Candace. And here comes a sideways wave. Are you going to turn the boards in time?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Candace gets wiped out by that one. Shay held on to her feet, and that'll allow Shay. But I'll tell you, it's a struggle here trying to push out of here.
Here we go. Tareen Black now in third place from Australia. She goes down.
She goes down. That's very, very difficult section, as it proved for all of our riders. You saw the top rider, Danny Ching, go down in the past heats. But look at this. Appleby still trying to push out, but Foudy right on her left-hand door, just knocking at it.
Annie Reichart has made a turn too wide in red. She has to come back around to the right. As we see Stephanie Scheidler, now she goes inside, making the turn. Watch Annie. She has to make a left-hand turn right here.
Yeah, she got pushed into the inside. Unfortunate mistake there by the young Hawaiian. She'll have to paddle her way through there. She's got to get on that board and make it. But now, look at this. Candace Appleby up and washing, machining back to the beach. And this is Foudy still up in the black. And Foudy, Candace takes another one trying to get back up. And Foudy's still on her feet, Bo, but still, look at that. Candace fell. She was in the water for almost 30 seconds, and Foudy didn't gain any ground on her.
Guess what? If Shay Foudy wins this sprint, she can win the world championship.
Right here and now in New York.
And there's still Paris to be done.
Yeah.
But she has been dominating force in London. She won the sprints and the distance, and she had a third place over in the race. A second place in the distance in Manhattan.
And, like we said, Foudy was facing some injuries here, but she's looking really strong. But you see Appleby almost getting blown up by that wave, and this one coming in on both of these young ladies. Watch these young technical riders, both up and over at the same time. One more buoy turn to go, and we'll see if Foudy can carve it into the inside, push Appleby out, and take home that world champion. But what a race between these two young ladies.
Well, Candace is going for the double-double.
Where did she come from?
And here comes Tareen Black, the two-time Molokai to Oahu champion, as Shay and Candace were battling the inside section. Here comes Tareen Black, and she's looking for a win here in the sprints.
The same thing we saw from Schweitzer in that last heat. Gets pushed far left and then comes all the way across with clean water. And now Appleby from California will make her backside turn. Foudy will have to make a front side turn here. Let's see if Foudy can push her to the outside. Foudy's just going to allow Appleby around, but we saw Appleby close the gap here. Let's watch her. She can do this. The two San Clemente girls having a little reminiscence of Doheny Beach, their home break back home, and see if they can push in on Tareen Black. But the Australian looking very strong, and now Appleby up and riding into the backside, Bo.
Can Candace catch Tareen Black? We've seen this wave happen before. Here comes Shay Foudy. She's on your right-hand side in black. Candace Appleby on your left-hand side in blue, and Tareen Black in the middle in white. And Candace has caught a wave, and Tareen is on a wave. They're both riding together.
Yeah, unfortunately, Foudy missed that one. She'll have to catch the next one. And Foudy will go down. So right now it's between Candace Appleby on your left, Tareen Black from Australia on the right, Bo.
And Candace going for the double-double in New York. Can she do it? Can Tareen upset her? Here we go. Appleby and Black.
Appleby brings it in about a half a board length ahead. Oh, gets off balance, bails a little bit early. That'll allow Black to make it to the beach first. And look at this. That stumble by Appleby will cost her this race and give it to Tareen Black from Australia. A very smart race. She'll take top honors, keeping Appleby from the double up here in New York. OMG.
Oh, my God. What an exciting race.
I need a Xanax. I just lost it. That was unbelievable. I know Candace is kicking her. She was about 20 feet from doubling up here in New York. But give it to the Australian, Tareen Black. A big win for her, Bo.
Tareen Black from Australia just conquering her second Molokai to Oahu. She skipped London to train in Hawaii to train for the Molokai to Oahu. She spent 2 months in Hawaii in the summer getting ready, doing all the Maui to Molokai race, doing the Hui paddleboard race on the North Shore and all the North Shore Series races to get ready for that. And she successfully won her second Molokai to Oahu championship. And now she has come to New York City and won the sprints here at Long Beach.
Unbelievable. That was anybody's race. It looked like it was going to be Foudy. Then it was going to be Appleby. And then Tareen Black out of nowhere coming around that final buoy turn to take it here in New York. So congratulations to her. Incredible racing, ladies and gentlemen. You're witnessing the best of the best.
And here's Annie Reichart. And Annie had some tough time in the surf zone.
Got to be bummed. I mean, she's got to be stoked with her performance last Saturday in Manhattan, but bummed on that inside tech turn. You saw how much of a problem that can pose. Hey, Annie, don't feel so bad. Danny Chig, one of the top paddlers in the world, had a lot of problems with that, so give her a round of applause. Youngster out of Hawaii, there's a lot of paddling, a lot of victories still to come from that young lady.
Wow, what an exciting race. We had races within the races on the first buoy turn. We had races within the races on the second buoy turn. We had races in the races from the third buoy turn. And we had a race within the race on the last final leg. There you go. First to sixth place, Tareen Black from Australia in first. Candace Appleby in second, the winner of the distance race. Unfortunately, can't go for the double. And look at that. The Peruvian, Vecco, takes third. Shea Foudy fourth. Annie Reichart fifth. And Mansa Notar comes in sixth place.
So now we got some math to do, Bo.
Oh, yeah. We're going to crunch the numbers. So I believe Shea has not exactly clinched the world title. But there was a mention in my ear that if she could win the sprints, she could have locked up the world title.
Yeah, unfortunately, that fourth place finish is going to take away some valuable points from her. But we'll do the math and try to get you an update as we go along here. But now you're looking at the men's final.
Michael Booth will be in red. Kai Lenny will be in the white jersey. Connor Baxter will be in the blue jersey. Mo Freitas will be in the yellow jersey. Casper Steinfath in the black jersey. Slater Trout in the pink jersey. Tyler Basher in the green. And Arthur Rukin will be in the blue vest.
Ones to watch out for, as you saw in that last heat, Kai Lenny. What a performance by that young man. Definitely one to keep your eyes on. But like I keep coming back to, the youngster, I mean, I think Tyler Basher, a heck of a repo heat for him. Hopefully he can come out here. But this is a strong field.
Yeah, I'm Bo Hodge. This is Drew Muir, and welcome to stop number 2 of the APP World Tour for 2018. Today is day number 2. It is the sprints, but it's more of a technical race. Why? Because it's in and out through the surf zone. We're adding in that little element of the surprise of battling the waves, not only into the waves, riding the waves, making critical buoy turns, and we've got a world title to determine. Right now, Arthur Rukin has passed Michael Booth with a win in Manhattan. Can Boothie regain the lead? Can Kai Lenny win his second sprints of the year? I mean, there are so many multiples. Can Connor Baxter redeem himself? Can Mo Freitas come out of this and win at least one race out of the 4 so far this year?
And you saw how much can happen in a final. We saw 4 different place changes just in the women's final. Now we're coming to the men. And these guys are serious. This is for everything. This is the top athletes in the world. This heat is stacked. Get ready for some high-intensity racing action.
And we got 8 men in the course.
And we got rain.
The reason I'm wearing a hoodie is because it's raining on us right now. So we got a lot of electronics here. My computer is already fried. Yours is still working, surprisingly.
It's a waterproof Mac.
Okay.
You know, I live in Tahoe. I'm not scared of no water.
Yeah, but it's used to the cold.
Hey, but everybody got to see my new hat, Bo. Did you see that? Yes. Wearing the new
still got to put you
New
through
York
the training.
hat. Check it out.
I'm going to put you through the training.
You give Brian a call. You tell him I'm coming hot.
Yeah.
I'm coming hot. See this new hat? My man Harvey Weisenberg autographed it. Assemblyman.
Not a lifeguard. Not a lifeguard. Yet.
I got the hat, though.
You got the hat. He's a wannabe. He's an unofficial Long Beach lifeguard right now. No, but it looks good on you.
Does it look good?
I'm proud of you.
I will be sure to disclose that to everybody I talk to when they say, "Oh, are you a lifeguard?" No, but I play one on TV.
Okay, there you go. Did you stay at a Holiday Inn?
me and the Baywatch boys.
Oh, don't
David
even
Hasselhoff.
go there. Don't even go there.
Me and David Hasselhoff.
You going to run the beach in slow motion?
You want me to?
No.
Bo?
No.
Oh, boy.
All right, there you go. You got the line up there. Anthony Villa on the right. You can see him in the hat by the white buoy, and we are getting ready for a start.
Men's final. There they are lined up. Sprinters stance. You see a couple of our athletes getting really low, trying to get every bit of push they can. That is the white jersey of Kai Lenny.
Connor Baxter in blue, fellow Maui boy, Kai Lenny in white in the middle. In yellow next to him. There you go. You've got Mo Freitas.
And in the past heats, we saw that outside, that far right lane being proved to be the strongest. Let's see how it does in there in the men's. There it is, shaking off the red jersey. That seemed to be a fast lane right there. Michael Booth, let's see if this proves positive for him.
Casper Steinfath in black right next to him, but it looks like Kai Lenny has got a quick titch right there and taking the lead, and also in yellow leading out there, that's Mo Freitas.
Yeah, keep an eye, though, on the right-hand side out of your screen right now. That is Michael Booth in red. We'll see if he can converge on the rest of the field. Like we said, you see a lot more bump, a lot more swell on that inside line than we do on the outside, so we'll see if he comes around.
Tyler Basher in green on the far left. And going down, who is that? That was Kai Lenny in white.
Lenny. Yeah, Lenny, unfortunately, saw his paddle wave to the top of the sky there, and he took a huge mistake falling off the line there. But that is the yellow jersey. That's Mo Freitas out in front from Hawaii.
Okay, Mo Freitas in yellow still out in the lead, followed by Surfer wearing the blue jersey. That's Connor Baxter from Maui.
Boy, what a battle between these two, huh? Mo Freitas, Connor, friends. I mean, these two train together a lot.
Slater Trout in third, and on the side in black, that is Casper Steinfath. In red is Michael Booth. On the first turn, Mo Freitas goes down.
Mo Freitas down, opening the door for Baxter, but Mo will stay to the inside, pushing Baxter wide, and he pops right back up. So very smart paddling there by Mo Freitas, but Baxter having to go really wide. You see Baxter really pulling a lot of water, trying to break the distance, trying to gain that little bit extra.
All right, Mo Freitas has caught a wave. It's not even breaking.
Mo doesn't need a wave to break. Like I said, this kid will find every little bump runner out in that ocean.
Here we go. Booth, Lenny, Steinfath trying to look for a wave to catch our top three. And here we go. Connor Baxter and Mo Freitas, just like in Denmark this time last year, are on the wave together 1 and 2.
And you see, even the pros are getting a little wobbly there as a little bit of a side chop comes across. Baxter with the inside line on this inside technical buoy, and that'll push Mo wide. Mo's going to slap on the brakes here, try to cut to the inside of Baxter. Let's see how he does it.
Well, hang on. We got 6 guys on 2 waves on the inside. Connor Baxter will make the first turn. Slater Trout's trying to sneak in, but he'll go third. That's Mo Freitas in second. And look who's making a move. That is Casper Steinfath in fourth.
Yeah, Casper Steinfath, very smart paddling, staying out of all the congestion, going around the outside. You saw Mo Freitas try to stop, throw his board to the inside of Connor. Unfortunately, he did fall, and now Connor out in front as they all go. This is exciting. This is any one of these 6 athletes' race right now.
Okay. Out in the lead, Connor Baxter from Maui.
On the right-hand side in blue, there is Connor.
In red, you can see traffic. Michael Booth on the far red. In yellow, that's Mo Freitas from Haleiwa. Black, that is Casper Steinfath. And in pink is Slater Trout.
Yeah, no one to be seen right now is Kai Lenny. Unfortunately, we'll have to find out where Kai's at. And there's
I think he's way left. Way left, off screen.
And watch for him, like I was saying, watch for that far left-hand side to come shooting across like we saw with Tareen in the women's final. So keep your eyes peeled. But Connor Baxter paddling a very, very smart race here, looking very strong. And I know he's itching to get back into that finals. There's now Kai Lenny popping back into view in the white rash guard.
And here's making the move in red is Michael Booth, but now out in the lead. It is Connor Baxter on the last buoy turn on the outside.
Here's
Casper Steinfath in second place. Michael Booth will be fourth because Slater Trout took the inside for third.
Yeah, smart move there by Booth. And now the final turn. This is where they start looking for those bumps runners. Anything can happen in this portion of the race. And Connor is very, very strong in this portion. So I know Casper's thinking that right now. Casper on the right in the black. Connor on the left on the blue.
And there's Arthur Rukin now making the turn on the outside, so he's going to lose a lot of valuable points at world number 1.
But you saw Steinfath get stuck in no man's land. He's going to pick up the party wave with the rest of them. And look at Connor Baxter just put his head down and just pulled all the way through that to catch that bump in front. And that will prove to be super beneficial for him as he will hit the beach first. But now it comes down to angles, Bo.
Now we got 4 guys. That's Slater Trout, Mo Freitas, Kai Lenny, Casper Steinfath, and now Kai has fallen off the wave.
Yeah, it's going to come down, and Baxter will hit the beach first. He'll have to come across the front. Will Casper be able to close the gap? And no, it is Connor Baxter from Hawaii taking home the sprints. The crowd goes wild. Casper Steinfest in second, and it looks like Michael Booth will be in third.
No, that's Slater Trout in third.
So there you have it, and you saw, got to give it.
Here comes Michael Booth in red.
You got to give it to Connor Baxter. When everybody else just kind of stopped, looked for a wave, Connor saw the wave in front and tried to paddle onto that little bump, and it proved to pay off for him in gold as he takes it here in New York unofficially. So congratulations to him.
Wow, just looking at the results here, unofficially, Connor Baxter in first place, Casper Steinfath in second, Captain America, Slater Trout in third, Mo Freitas from Haleiwa in fourth, Kai Lenny falls down to fifth, Michael Booth, formerly number one, in sixth place. Arthur Rukin, number one heading into this race, loses valuable points. He had to come through the repechage along with Tyler Basher, finished both 7 and 8 respectively.
Now we got to do some math on the men's side, Bo. So there's a lot of shifting around there on the men's sides with that contest.
What an exciting race. I mean, we saw so much happening out in the water, and especially the buoy turns.
The buoy turns turned out to be crucial, and you saw, some very smart reading the water. We saw them weaving back and forth, maneuvering their way out. It took more than just racing here today. It was a very, like you said, technical race. You had to read the water. You had to kind of wait when you had to wait and push when you had to push, just like we saw Connor try to catch that runner in front of him, which he did perfectly. So hats off to that young man.
Yeah, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. We've been battling the elements here in the remnants of a low pressure, which was formerly Hurricane Florence, that has moved in through the New York and the Long Beach area right now. The athletes finish up their sprint racing. Congratulations to Arthur Rukin winning the distance race for the men. Congratulations to Candace Appleby winning the distance race for the ladies. And today we held the sprints, and the sprints were exciting.
Oh, man. That's what, this is one of Tristan's favorite events of the entire stop. And he was talking about it last night. He says it's going to be amazing. And it proved to be everything that he said it would be. So hopefully you enjoyed it at home. I'm sure people are going to be catching the replay.
Yes.
You don't want to miss
Connor
out.
Baxter from Maui has now won a sprint race, and he is so excited down on the beach. And how about for Tareen Black? Coming out of nowhere, letting the ladies battle themselves and finding that right current to pull her out, winning the women's sprint.
You got to give it to Tareen. Very smart. She's been paddling for a long time. She paddled a very smart race, and it just goes to show it's not a put your head down and pull type of race here in Long Beach. You had to be smart, and she definitely did it well.
We are not done with the webcast. We've got more days starting tomorrow, Wednesday, through the rest of the week, all the way through Sunday, men's and women's SUP surfing action here at Long Beach.
Yeah, it's going to be good. If everything shapes up to be what everybody's talking about, we're going to get some offshore winds. Could set up to be perfect.
The Brazilians are here. The Hawaiians are here. The Californians are here. I mean, everybody's here. Former world champion Izzy Gomez is here. Shakira Westthorpe from Australia in the women's competition.
Leko Salazar.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on.
Jane Schweitzer, Sean Pointer. We got Kyle Voss. We got everybody here. Rainoa Poniki, Rainoa. They're all here competing for the men's portion, and we're going to have every heat of every contest right here on the webcast. We'd like to thank everybody watching appworldtour.com and also on Facebook, and you can get your updates live on Facebook at appworld.com. For Tristan Boxner, for Christian and his hard-working staff and the elements and the fine production crew, the cameramen and the sound people, all of them did a fine job here. For Drew and myself and Mashu, who was out in the rain and his microphone didn't work, so we apologize for that because of the elements. We are glad that you all caught the exciting action here at Long Beach. And again, still, SUP surfing for men and women now through Sunday, so keep tuned and keep watching. We'll bid you aloha today, but we'll see you tomorrow.
Stay dry.